what's up everybody? Now today I got a very special project I want to do, because as y'all can see, this is my old display, one of the first diorama displays I ever did, and unfortunately, to me, this looks like shit. You know what I mean? I mean, it got the job done. You know, I had 4 different levels, had some Marvel Legends up on here, some TMNT NECA, but for what I got going on right now, in all my Motu rooms, all that shit has got to go. Bottom parts, they all got to go. I got to do it all over again. And right here, I'm going to take this board and put it on each side. You know what I mean? Because I want to have 3 walls. So I can see each side. I want that background to just pop. You know what I mean? Going all the way around. And then I'm going to wrap each pole. And that's going to be it. You know what I mean? I'm going to take it all to the end. I want that whole bottom part to go all the way to the max. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do each shelf. I'm going to have different backgrounds for each. And then right here on the top shelf, I'm going to put a flat board so I can stand up some Mondo figures up there. But all this shit's going to pop. I'm going to keep the lights that I got under there. I got all that wrapped, and I'm going to hide the cord a little bit because I want that shit to be bright. You know what I mean? I want that light to just shine on down. But yeah, this is going to be a nice little project. I want to take y'all through it step by step, just in case y'all's curious and want to do this shit yourself. Now right here, on my other display, it's going to basically kind of look like this. You know what I'm saying? I want to have that board covering the whole bottom part, and then the background wrapping around with each pole, wrapped with the same background that got going around so I can try to, you know what I'm saying, match that shit up. My goal is just to basically have them all look like that but different. So the first step, I need to get some side boards for my display. So right here I found one that just suits my needs right there. It wasn't that much money, it's big as shit. It's got a little pattern on the side, you know what I mean? Just in case it look all right. Now right here, I need some bottom ground boards. And this shit, let me think, $13.99, 6 something. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 6 something right here. Probably give me 4 of these bitches, and that's all you need. Now I'm gonna have somebody cut all this shit down, and I'm gonna take it to the car. Right there, folks, everything got cut down to the size that I needed. And I'm gonna take that shit home, but first, I gotta work on that back art. So right here, I picked 4 pictures of a nice panoramic view, and I'm here at Staples, and they're gonna stretch that shit out and make it work. Now right here, this is what I use to stick them to the board. It's gonna stay up there, and I can easily take it down if I need to. Now right here, here's the back of it, just to show you, you know what I mean? This shit right here is the truth.
3 days later.
So now they got my artwork done, I'm gonna take this home. I printed out 2 of each, so I can use the other one to wrap around the poles. And right here, I already put the back parts up on each side. I screwed about 2 screws, working my way down each shelf, and that shit's strong as an ox. It ain't coming down at all. You see right there, that nice side pattern, but that shit ain't gonna be seen. And I'll probably end up covering up the other side with one of my stone wallpapers, but we'll get into that in a minute. But right now, it's time to get these boards cut right into place. I gotta cut a slit on each side so it can fit right down. And I don't gotta really screw it to the bottom, it's just gonna sit right there. And that's it. So let's start off with the first one right here. I got all my measurements right there on each corner. So I'm gonna take my handy dandy saw, I'm gonna chop this bitch up on each side. Then I'll start on the next shelf in the next one. And by the power of editing, booyah, there it is, folks. I got all 4 of them cut, and they all match. So now it's time to take my 4 different wallpapers that I picked off of Amazon, and we're gonna get this shit going, folks. Right here's the 4 different ones. I'll put some links in the description if you want. But all these, you know what I'm saying, just different colors that I thought would match. That's for the one. I'm still on the fence with this one. And if I end up changing that, I change it. Now, unfortunately, all 4 of these are different sizes. So probably on some of these, I'm gonna have to double it up or even triple it up to make sure I can cover the whole thing. This right here, oh, I'm loving the way this looks. I'm gonna end up having to use some adhesive spray to be able to hold this bitch down. Because all the other ones, they got, you know what I'm saying, they sticky. There's wallpaper. But we're gonna make them all work. We're gonna do one by one. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Start off with this first one. I just lay that shit down and smooth that bitch out. Real easy. I try to make sure there ain't no bubbles. I go across it, trim it down when I need to, but the first step is to just cover this bitch up. And here it is, folks. I got that shit looking good. Oh, I love this one. It came out real nice. All my corners look good. Everything went on there right. With the power of editing, right here's the next one, folks. This one came out equally as good. I had to double this one up, as you can see, but I tried to make it blend, but still, it's fine. It's the ground. The ground has blemishes. Now, right here on the other side, just in case you're curious, I cut it down like this and just fold that bitch over. You know what I'm saying? Across every single side, so that shit ain't popping out. And there it is, folks. This one's done. This one I had to go over 3 times, but it's okay, because it's gonna match. Now right here, this fourth one, I had to put the adhesive spray down to make this bitch stick. Right there, that Gorilla Glue, just like I fuck with the Gorilla Tape. Now right here, all 4 of those are done, and I put them each in each position. Thankfully, when I did my measurements, that shit was to the T. So as you can see, that shit goes from edge to edge, back to front. No wiggle room, just how I needed it. Now it's time to wrap all them different diorama backgrounds all around each. And then after that, I'm gonna put it all on the poles. But before I do all that, I gotta start getting them little square, little sticky things ready. And I'm gonna put them on each corner, so when I apply the paper, I'm not struggling. You know what I mean? It's just gonna wrap around nice and easy. So right here, I start laying all the squares down, one in each corner. You don't need a whole bunch, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta put enough. So I got one on each corner, plus one in the middle of each one. I'm gonna cover all them old backgrounds up, because I glued that shit to the board, and that backboard, I'd have to replace it. It's gonna work out perfect. I need that little room on each side for me to work that shit around. But with that said and done, now it's time for the wrap. And as you can see, I'm working my way around. I want to make sure that everything is leveled 100%. So I start on one side, work my way around to the other, and the power of editing. There it is, folks. All that shit came out nice and neat. The perfect height that I needed. Maybe I could have went, you know what I'm saying, just a half a centimeter more, but it's all fine. So right here, I took a plain piece of paper to help me measure that shit out. So when I wrap that bitch around, I can cut it at just the right amount that I need so it'll look right. So right here, I take that piece of paper and I laid my other background down and I marked it off where it intersects with the pole. So when I end up cutting each one out, it's gonna match with the background 100% or as close as I can get that shit. So right here, I took my lever and I took my little X-Acto knife and I cut that bitch right down. See this shit right on the floor, and you see that shit? A nice clean cut. So right here, I take it and I put a little bit of tape, you know what I'm saying, some Scotch tape, and just turn that bitch around until I match it up as best as I can get it. I have to move it up and down. But right there, folks, look at this. Turn that bitch around. Just puzzle piece that bitch in there. You see that shit? Depending on the angle that I'm standing at, that shit blends right in. So I'm gonna try to do that with each pole going all the way around. That right there looks damn good. I love it. Best way I could think of to match this shit up. I ain't never seen nobody do that shit before. And I figured it would work, and it should work. So I'm gonna go each around each one, and with the power of editing, there it is, folks. This shelf is done. I mean, besides for, you know what I'm saying, all the little decoration I'm gonna add in it. But for the most part, I love the way it came out. That's why I put this bitch on the top. The Whispering Woods. But now I just got 3 left to go. And once I get all this shit done, then it's time to decorate it up. Right here, I'm gonna show you how I work the back real quick. You see that shit? See how I left that nice little space? Gives me room to work that bitch around. You know what I mean? And then what I love about it is once the paper's all the way around, it looks whole. So right here, here's how I'm decorating some of the rocks. I ordered these rocks off of Amazon. I got some paint to, you know what I'm saying, get close to the background on how them rocks look. I'm gonna paint this bitch up. And that's about it. And now it's time to see the finished product. And here it is, folks. My 4-tier diorama display with all my Mondo figures on the top. We're gonna start off with the top. Let's take a look at all these Mondo figures. A lot of these bitches, I just had them packed up. You know what I mean? I couldn't put them nowhere. I didn't have no room in my last spot. But right here, they all got a shelf. There's the newest one right there. Mini comic Trap Jaw. Looking good as shit. With all these He-Man Skeletor with this line, you know what I'm saying? I just pick whichever ones I want. Just the main characters. He-Man, Skeletor, you know what I'm saying? Anti-Trinity, He-Man, Hordak. That's it. But right here, folks, we're moving our way down to the Whispering Woods. Right from the She-Ra Filmation cartoon. This shit looks so goddamn good. Oh, I love it. I love how these trees look. I love how little bushes look. I want to give a very special thanks to Crackers Props and Prints for printing all this shit out. It was a lot of work. And I definitely got to give this man his props He knocked this shit out the park. Oh, I love the way all these trees look. You know what I mean? They came out so goddamn good. All these trees and bushes, they was all from a file from Coach3D.com. I'll put a link in the description. But right there, we got Hornax standing on business, ready to get his hands on that sword of power that She-Ra got. But right here, let's take another look at just how well all that shit matches with the background. And right there, She-Ra, she's ready for business. She's like, come on, if you want to try it, come on with it. So they about to get that shit in. Like I said, this might be my favorite one. I don't know. But now it's time to move down to the desert area. Right here, we got a scene going on. It looks like King Hiss and some of his minions found a couple palace guards and ended up robbing their ass. But right here, looking at the background, that bottom part, the ground that I use, that shit matches pretty well. I love the way that looks. And then I added a couple little rocks and stuff like that just to blend it in. And then right there, you got King Hiss with the Glock out right in front of that man's face. They robbed his ass for all his clothes so he could get his own little snake infiltrator guard in there. Right there, you see little snitching ass Ram Man and shit. He switched sides a while ago. That man is a snake man. If you don't know, watch my other commercials and you'll find out. And that other man right there, he's got his ass right there by the neck with that big ass sword ready to decapitate his ass. But that's it for that shelf. We moving down to the next one. But we got a fighting scene going on. Back to back, right in the middle, you got Zoldak and Wondar busting caps at all these skeleton warriors, you know what I mean? Trying to chop their ass up. They took down a couple of them. But right there, you can see where I used some nice colorful rocks to try to, you know what I'm saying, blend that shit in with the back. Because I damn sure wasn't going to find no weird-ass rocks like those in the background pictures. But I think it got the job done. And then right there you got Scare Glow riding on top of Scaredy Cat. They just up to some villain-ass shit, you know what I mean? You know how the villains do. Well, that's it pretty much for this display. I love how it came out. Also, if you didn't notice, changed the ground color. You know what I mean? I picked something different. The rock pattern didn't look right to me. But that blue really pops. Got that off of Amazon. Came the next day, changed that bitch right out. Now right here, here's the last scene. I don't know what the fuck this area is, but this shit looks good. And right here we got Trapjaw, Beastman, and Skeletor all on they fancy sky sleds and shit, chasing down He-Man, who's just speeding off in his powerful ass sky sled, drinking and driving, not giving a shit, just driving out into the distance. Now, one thing I probably could have did, which I ain't gonna do it, because that's too much work, was try to color in the ground, you know what I mean? To try to match the little different wave colors and all that stuff. But that's just too much going on. It looks good enough for what it is. I love how each one of these came out. Much needed to make my collection just pop that much more. And something that wasn't even that hard to do. Now right here, this is another display that's a work in progress. But since I just added the tablecloth, which was only a $5 tablecloth, that shit really pops. You know what I mean? It brings that lava to life. And all those extra little rocks and all this other shit right there. A special person, eyes on the screen from Instagram, sent that shit to me all the way from Germany. You know what I mean? He created them rocks. I couldn't believe it. That shit looks so good. He takes a lot of really nice pictures. Definitely check his ass out. I'll put his link in the description. But right there next to that, Anti-Eternia Castle Grayskull, which, trust me, folks, I got the right castle coming. And when it does, that's going to move somewhere else. I'm going to add a little bit more rocks, but that's it. All these displays definitely make a collection pop. I highly recommend it to everybody to try this shit. You know what I mean? It's like eye candy to the eyes, and your eyes deserve that shit. You only live once. If you got the room, go for it. But other than that, folks, if you got any questions about this, don't hesitate to ask. I got your back. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching, folks. And if you like what you saw, do my ass a favor and drop me a like. Subscribe to the channel while you're at it. It ain't gonna hurt you, is it? Come on now. Go ahead and hit the button. I know you have to hit the button. Hit that goddamn button, drop a like. All right, I'm out of here.